A guide dog's justice. Every morning in the quiet suburb of Crestwood Meadows, a blind teenager named Emily Harper walked past the manicured lawns with her golden retriever, Scout. The duo moved in perfect harmony, Scout's steady gait guiding Emily's steps. But one fateful day, a single act of cruelty would unravel a community, spark a legal firestorm, and prove that justice, though hard-won, can shine through even the darkest moments. This is the story of Emily, Scout, and the woman who tried to tear them apart. Emily Harper, 16 and blind since birth, relied on Scout, her meticulously trained guide dog, to navigate the world. Scout wasn't just a pet. He was her independence, her confidence, her lifeline. Costing $50,000 to train, Scout could detect obstacles, find doors, and keep Emily safe on busy streets. On this crisp autumn morning, Emily headed to the community mailbox, expecting a letter from her father, Colonel Daniel Harper, a deployed Army officer. These letters were her anchor, especially since her mother's death from cancer 3 years prior. As Emily and Scout approached the mailbox, a sharp voice shattered the calm. "What do you think you're doing?" Dorothy Whitaker, the 52-year-old HOA president, stormed toward them. Dorothy, who lived off her late husband's wealth, ruled Crestwood Meadows with an iron fist, enforcing her vision of suburban perfection. Her designer tracksuit gleamed, her platinum hair rigid, her face twisted with entitlement. "Dogs aren't allowed in common areas," she barked, ignoring Scout's service vest. Emily's heart raced, but she stayed calm. "Ma'am, Scout's my guide dog. The Americans with Disabilities Act says he's allowed anywhere I go." Dorothy scoffed, her voice dripping with disdain. "I don't care about your laws. My community, my rules. Get that mutt out of here." Scout, sensing hostility, positioned himself protectively, but his demeanor remained gentle, as always. The confrontation escalated. Dorothy, clutching a taser she'd bought online, ignored Emily's pleas about her father's letter. "I'm calling animal control," she snapped, then blocked their path to the mailbox. Emily, trembling, whispered, "Scout, forward," but Dorothy refused to move. Neighbors began to gather. Mrs. Lynn from down the street, Mr. Alvarez on his porch, and young Sammy Carter peering from his window. Then, in a moment that would haunt Crestwood Meadows, Dorothy raised her taser. "I'll move your dog myself," she hissed. Before Emily could react, Dorothy pressed the device against Scout's neck and fired. 50,000 volts surged through the gentle dog. Scout yelped, collapsing in convulsions, his body racked with pain. Emily dropped to her knees, screaming, "Scout, please no." Her hands frantically searched for her companion, finding his trembling form on the pavement. Blood and drool trickled from his mouth, his service vest twisted. Dorothy stood over them, unrepentant. "Maybe now you'll follow the rules," she said coldly. Mrs. Lynn rushed forward, horrified. "Dorothy, that's a service dog. She's blind." Dorothy doubled down. "Rules are rules. No dogs." Mr. Alvarez, shaking with rage, began live streaming on his phone. The video spread like wildfire, igniting outrage across social media. 7 minutes later, sirens wailed. Paramedics and police arrived, followed by a black sedan. Out stepped Colonel Daniel Harper, his army dress uniform adorned with medals. He'd been in a Pentagon meeting when a neighbor called with the news. Within minutes, he'd mobilized every contact in his 25-year career: generals, senators, prosecutors. His daughter and her dog would have justice. Officer Laura Bennett, a seasoned cop, took charge. "Ma'am, drop that taser," she ordered Dorothy, her hand on her weapon. Dorothy protested. "It's for protection." But Officer Bennett wasn't having it. "You tasered a service dog. That's a federal crime." Paramedic Tom Riley, a dog lover, examined Scout, his voice tight with anger. "He needs a vet hospital now. The shock could have damaged his heart." As Scout was loaded into an animal ambulance, Dorothy was handcuffed, still insisting she was the victim. "I'm the HOA president. I was protecting my community." Officer Bennett read her Miranda rights, charging her with animal cruelty, assault, and violating disability laws. The livestream, now viral, fueled global fury. #JusticeForScout trended worldwide, with comments like, "How could anyone hurt a guide dog?" and "That woman's a monster." At the veterinary hospital, Dr. Rachel Kim, a trauma specialist, worked tirelessly on Scout. "He's strong," she told Emily and Colonel Harper. "Guide dogs are resilient. With care, he should recover. Emily, refusing to leave Scout's side, read him Braille stories and sang lullabies, her bond with him moving the staff to tears. Meanwhile, the legal system roared into action. Federal prosecutors, armed with the viral video, charged Dorothy with multiple felonies. Animal cruelty, 5 years maximum. ADA violations, 10 years. Civil rights violations, 15 years. And assault with a weapon. Her lawyer, a slick defense attorney, pushed for a plea deal, but prosecutor Amanda Clark, a civil rights champion, refused. Your client attacked a blind girl's dog and showed no remorse. She's going to prison. Crestwood Meadows was in upheaval. An emergency HOA meeting ousted Dorothy, and neighbors shared stories of her tyranny trying to remove a child's wheelchair ramp, harassing an immigrant family, and banning an autistic boy from the playground. The community rallied around Emily and Scout, raising $200,000 for Scout's care. Local kids sent handmade cards, and businesses donated supplies. In a touching gesture, Colonel Harper's unit flew in from overseas, bringing a retired military dog, Blitz, trained in service tasks. Blitz became Scout's backup, supporting Emily while Scout healed. You're part of our military family, the soldiers told Emily, who wept with gratitude. 6 months later, Dorothy's trial began. The courtroom overflowed with supporters, neighbors, veterans, disability advocates. The prosecution's evidence was damning. The video showed Scout's calm demeanor, contradicting Dorothy's self-defense claim. Emily's testimony was heart-wrenching. Scout's my independence. When she hurt him, she attacked my right to exist freely. Colonel Harper's words were equally powerful. No parent should see their child's lifeline tortured for no reason but malice. Neighbors exposed Dorothy's years of harassment, painting her as a bigot consumed by control. The jury deliberated for just 2 hours, guilty on all counts. Dorothy was sentenced to 8 years in prison, 3 years probation, $500,000 in damages, and a lifetime ban from HOA rolls. As she was led away, she shouted, "This isn't fair." Judge Margaret Evans silenced her.